Hello everyone, welcome to another top 10 esoteric books video, and today we're looking specifically at my top 10 botanical books, so books on magical plants and flowers and what to do with them and herbs and so on and so forth. This one that we're looking at here is Wart Cunning, and this is a book. By the way, I'm not going to be doing these in order of how wonderful they are. They're all wonderful. This is just in order of how large they are. So this is the smallest of the lot. Wart Cunning, a folk medicine herbal. Nigel G. Pearson has been writing some very exciting work recently on traditional witchcraft. And yeah, I'd say he's probably one of the foremost voices currently on traditional witchcraft. He, along with a few others, writing for Troy Books and some other publishers, of course. And I really like this one. So this is essentially a book of recipes that was handed to him by some remaining members of a coven. It's all quite mysterious, but the recipes seem quite interesting. There's a key for what to do with the particular items that are described over here. And then when you turn the book over, he has given us an A to Z dictionary of all of the ingredients of all of the plants, and you can see that it is occasionally illustrated like this. It's actually quite nice, quite a beautiful book. I really like the way he's added this in the back. In fact, it comprises most of the book, is this dictionary of herbs with their traditionally ascribed magical uses. There we go. So that's Wart Cunning, a folk magic herbal. Next we have Verdant Gnosis, and this has got 5 volumes out so far. This is published by Revelor Press, so this is volume 5, volume 4, 3, 2 and 1. So as I've already shown you in my top 10 paperbacks video, this is a compilation of articles by various authors, all more interesting one than the other. And here's just a quick look at the table of contents of the first volume. I'm pretty sure I showed you the contents of every single one of the 5 volumes in my top 10 paperbacks video. So yeah, do go and check that out. I'll link that down in the description, probably up here as well, if I remember to do that. Next we have Veneficium, Daniel Schulk, through Three Hands Press. So this is the book that probably made Daniel Schulk most well known on the occult scene. Veneficium is beautifully written. As you can see, this is the 2nd edition, an absolutely gorgeous book. It's available in paperback, it's available even in Kindle edition, I believe, and it's very beautifully written. Prose and, you know, careful, beautiful prose is clearly close to Daniel Schulk's heart. It's very well researched. It is a scholarly work on the poison path. The poison path being simply the path that embraces the baneful aspects of plants, the origins of sorcery, including the idea of pharmacopoeia. There we go. Let me show you the table of contents, maybe. There we are. I get a vague idea. Very, very beautiful book. Very, very lovely, very scholarly, not necessarily for the absolute beginner. This one is a very nice primer for that one, I think. The Poison Path Herbal, this one absolutely is accessible to the beginner. Baneful Herbs, Medicinal Nightshades and Ritual Entheogens, Kobe Michael. Very, very approachable. I mean, you know, considering the subject, after all, we are talking about poisons and plants that can kill. But we're looking at their uses, and they're not only used for poisoning people. Just like any active principle, it can have positive effects if used carefully and properly. So this is a book on all of that and the history of all of that as well. Let me show you the table of contents here. There we are. You can, of course, pause the video and check all of that out. Very, very nice stuff. Next we have 13 Pathways of Occult Herbalism, another book by Daniel Schulk, also through Three Hands Press. As you can see, these Three Hands Press hardcovers are really very, very beautiful. This is Daniel Schulk's way of presenting to us the various ways of approaching the herbal mysteries. And as you can see, this one is profusely illustrated and yeah, just as beautiful as Veneficium that I showed you earlier on. It's a much smaller, well, should I say shorter book, at how many pages? 130 odd pages. And here are the contents. All right, moving on to Hermetic Herbalism, the art of extracting spagyric essences. So this one's going to appeal to the alchemists amongst you. Jean Maverick wrote this in late 1930s, 20th century, and it was recently translated. There we go. Yes, that's right. Translated by R. Bailey. So yes, those of you who are taking an alchemical route through the herbal mysteries will be very interested in this one, no doubt. If you're interested in making tinctures and spagyric extracts, this is going to be a very useful resource for you. I do have to say, however, that this is not a modern book, and you will find the language quite sustained and quite at times archaic, even though the translator has done a fantastic job. This is a serious practitioner's book, not designed to welcome you to the practice, but rather to give you the information that you need for the practice. It's very complex, very complete. These are clearly the notes of an accomplished alchemist who's much more interested in passing on his knowledge to posterity than he is to making a quick buck. There we are. So yes, it can be a little bit tedious, but it is of great value. There we are. Next we have the Royal Horticulture Society, Botany for Gardeners. Now this doesn't have very much magical about it, other than the plants themselves, of course. This is a really, really lovely edition, and it's made my top 10 here simply for its presentation and for the information within it. There's no information here on how to make magical tinctures or anything like that. However, there is lots of information on how to grow these various plants, and of course, what is a green witch if she or he does not know how to grow plants. There we are. So this is a really invaluable resource for learning how to plant, learning how to grow plants, excuse me. And it's modern. It doesn't look modern. They've managed to get this really nice old-fashioned look to it, but it is modern and it is written for the modern reader, and it's really beautiful. Okay. Next we've got another book translated by R. Bailey. So this time it's Paul Sedier's Concise Guide to Magical Plants, Occult, Botany, and I think this is the largest book out of the books that I've shown you today, and it's great. It's really nice. It's a book that was written back in 1901, and it has got so much going for it in terms of beauty, of course, but in terms of content, it is incredible. So the latter 2/3 of the book, should I even say 3/4 of the book there, is a complete dictionary, once again, of plants and their magical properties. Fantastic, with pictures for each one of them. So yes, just A to Z, Very, very lovely. And then the front back over here is everything to do with how to perform plant magic. It's very complete, very interesting, very beautifully translated, and I think this is going to be of great interest to the Green Path practitioner. Let me show you the table of contents. There we go. All right. Next we have 100 Plants That Heal. And this is the illustrated herbarium of medicinal plants. A very lovely book once again. And this one is probably a little bit more beginner friendly, a little bit more casual, interest friendly. It looks very much like a coffee table book. It's quite lovely. And then you have photographs rather than those lovely drawings. I mean, these photographs are quite lovely as well, as you can see. Very beautiful and quite helpful, of course, to have photographs of the actual thing that you're looking for, and you're not at the mercy of the skill or talent of the artist who has drawn the plant in woodcut and printed it with relative accuracy. Right. So then on every page you have lots of little tidbits, little bits of information that are going to be useful for that particular plant. So very straightforward method here, straightforward formula. There we go. There's no special introductory page to tell you, you know, how to make a tincture or anything like that. It's just the uses of that particular plant for healing. There we are. And then finally, this is a book that I've actually reviewed, Weeds in the Heart, which I love so much, by Nathaniel Hughes and Fiona Owen. Please do go and check out that review that I made a good few months ago now, possibly over a year. And I just love this. Look at this. Look at this. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, this is one of the aspects that I like so much about this book, is the art and the attention to detail. This is a very beautiful book. I believe it's available as a paperback as well. If you can get it in hardcover, I don't see why you wouldn't. It is really, really lovely. And I really like the approach of the book. It gives you a license to essentially discover for yourself what these plants are for, and not just a license, but a method to do that, a method to get in touch with the particular properties of a plant from a very intuitive perspective, if that makes sense. As you can see, it's a really, really lovely book, really beautiful book, with the feelings of the author about each plant. Really very, very beautiful. There we are. Those are my top 10 books. I really hope you enjoyed this week's video. Let me take a little second here to say that the Foolish Fish Patreon is now open. So anyone who's been struggling with the YouTube memberships now have an alternative option with almost identical perks, including access to the Foolish Fish Discord server, regardless of the support level you pick, where you can come and chat with me and with lots of other members to share tips and ideas for your practice in over 250 different topics, covering the various aspects of occult and esoteric theory and practice. It's an enormous repository of knowledge and definitely worth checking out. The links to join memberships or Patreon to get access to the Discord chat can be found in the description and in the pinned comment. Also, if you'd like to chat with me personally over a video call, there are links to book a session with me down below as well. In the meantime, let me take a second to thank every one of you who has taken the trouble to click on the like button and on the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. Of course, right now might be the opportunity you've been waiting for. And of course, let me say a huge thank you to all of the channel's members and Patreon supporters, including Caitlin Kopok and David Venturini, who are both supporting the channel at the Lux Eterna level, which is so incredibly kind and appreciated. And also a big special thank you to all the level 3 Magister Venerabilis members, whose names are scrolling past there on the left. Thanks finally to every single one of you for watching, especially if you've made it up to the end. Take care of yourselves and of each other, and see you soon with another video.